Welcome back to the Hershey Park Arena. Chad Donahue, Jim Davis, Mark Shuey. Action at 145. This will be a good one, Jim. This is one you've been looking forward to all night long.
Oh, definitely. Chamie Hooks is a defending state champion from Kittanning. Eric Pizzi beat him in last week's regional finals. Eric Pizzi from McGuffey, a senior. He is undefeated this year. These two guys are going to mix it up.
Chamie Hooks, a junior from Kittanning, 34-2 this season. Eric Pizzi out of McGuffey, 42-0.
Pizzi with the green anklet. Pizzi with the green anklet on. Chamie Hooks with the red anklet on. These two guys have very, very contrasting styles. Eric Pizzi is a brawler. Chamie Hooks is a no-nonsense, by-the-book, single legs, double legs, takedowns. Everything is easy for him. He goes very, very hard with everything that he does. Eric Pizzi is a lot more flashy. He goes with headlocks, lateral drops, big high percentage moves. The crowd loves it, but I don't know how it's going to fare against Chamie Hooks, a defending state champion.
Chamie Hooks, Kittanning, we mentioned a junior. He's 100 victories and 9 defeats. They seem locked up here with time remaining in the opening period. Championship at 145 pounds.
You might remember in 1995 state championships at 140 pounds, Chamie Hooks beat Eric Greshko from Nazareth 10-8, but spent a lot of his third period on his back and almost got pinned. He held on to win that battle for his first state title.
In red.
Pizzi headlocked his semifinal opponent, Zach Miller from Boyertown, District 3, and pinned him in 1 minute and 12 seconds. And he headlocked him right off the bat, first 10 seconds of the match, and Miller never had a chance.
11 seconds, your time, as you see on screen. Still no score at 145 pounds. We almost go. There he is.
No time on the clock.
Time. That's a sign of things to come.
Red be first. Green down.
Oh, now we're going to see our first point.
Turn around. Turn around.
Pizzi got an injury default off of his first bout in the preliminary round. Quentin Johnson from Johnstown High School, District 6, could not stand up to the pressure and punishment that Pizzi dished out and had to default to him.
Look at
Pizzi again took on Brian Ware from Northampton, District 11, and technical fault him 20-4. But Pizzi did look like he ran out of gas. If there's a chink in his armor, it's the fact that he may not be quite as powerful later on in the period as Chamie Hooks is.
Boy, Hooks trying to wear him out a little bit. Still no score. Boy, Mark, that was right in front of you. And, I mean, Chamie Hooks was trying and trying and trying and trying, and he's really worn out Pizzi here temporarily.
That's right. Eric Pizzi, he was in a bad neighborhood. Chamie Hooks was all over his back. He was trying to cut his arms out from under him. He was trying to push his head down into his chin into his chest. And he had Eric Pizzi in a very bad situation. The strength of Eric Pizzi kept him up and kept him out of off of his back. However, you can see Eric Pizzi has now suffered the consequences. He was tired. He was a little shaken up. He used some of that injury clock, but he's ready to go back at it at 145 pounds. 1 minute 35 to go in period number 2. We have no score.
They just announced the attendance figures for the entire weekend, and they're a whopper. Since Thursday morning, they've done 53,529.
Chamie Hooks with a cross-body ride from the top position.
Whoa, way up high. That draws a reaction from the crowd.
You can see Pizzi's style. He is a no-nonsense guy. He is moving. He's shaking. He is a high-profile wrestler. Hooks, again, likes to ride from a cross-body position in the top slot.
Boy, Pizzi has taken a pounding in this period.
Pizzi doing everything that he can to try to get out and get away from Chamie Hooks. And there it is. He's got an escape. And a quick spin around right there at the edge of the match. That's a big, big move. 1-point escape, 2-point takedown.
They're going to add it on. They've got 2-0 on the board. They want 3 overall. They're only giving him 2.
They did not give him an escape. I don't understand that call. I thought it was an escape and a takedown. Apparently not. They've just given him a reversal.
Pizzi only gets 2 there. That could be big. If you get them this evenly matched, I mean, every point is like gold right now. It is gold.
You're wrestling defending state champion. You want every point you can get.
Not like they give them away. There's your time remaining in the second period. Championship at 145 pounds. Defending champ Chamie Hooks going up against Eric Pizzi.
Eric Pizzi knew that Hooks was going to get out. Just hanging on a leg. That's a stall warning against Pizzi.
2-0. Eric Pizzi out of McGuffey, teammate of Jeremy Hunter. I'm sure those two have squared off in practice. Hunter won his 4th state title tonight at 125 pounds, or at 119 pounds. Correct myself for the 1,000th time.
Eric Pizzi from the top position. He's got a great tilt. This isn't a good pinning combination, but he can pick up at least 2 back points for this.
2.
And he's comfortable just to stay there for as long as it takes.
Meters running. Chamie Hooks, defending state champ, hanging on for dear life here as you see him locking horns right in the center circle.
Pizzi really does not have a good chance of pinning Hooks with that combination, but one of the things he can do is hold him there just long enough to get a couple of back points. Pizzi's on. You can get pinned from the top position.
Going to run out of time in the period.
Wow.
Where does that all end up now? And you mentioned that Pizzi has a tendency to run out of gas, and that was a very big-time physical exertion toward the end of the period.
Definitely, and I think that Mr. Pizzi is very, very lucky there wasn't any more time left on the clock because Chamie Hooks was coming out of that. And like I said, Jed, you can get pinned from the top position.
Go to Mark Shuey because Eric Pizzi's over on his side. Mark?
Well, that's right. The injury clock is running once again on Eric Pizzi. Not sure what the ailment is right now, but he appears to be winded. He's over in his corner talking to the coaches. The referees have come over with the clock. And Eric Pizzi right now kneeling. He's getting his hand attended to by one of the physicians. His left hand seems to be bothering the wrestler, Eric Pizzi. Eric Pizzi with a 4-0 lead beginning period number 3. The first period ended in a scoreless tie. Eric Pizzi recorded a takedown at the minute 12 mark of the second period. And in the final 20 seconds, Eric Pizzi recorded another takedown to boost his lead to 4-0. And that is what the score will be when we enter the third period. Eric Pizzi and Chamie Hooks battling for the 145-pound state title at the AAA level.
Watch for Chamie Hooks coming out strong here in the start of the third period. He wants this state title.
And he's coming out of the bottom tier, which is a good scoring position, as we keep mentioning. There's the 1-point escape. Now it's 4-1. He's 3 down. 1:55 remaining in the match. That's a very interesting end to that second period because it looked like momentum was ready to swing a little bit toward Hooks' favor.
Oh, definitely. And Pizzi is really, really lucky that he didn't have any more time left on the clock because Hooks was looking to score.
This is a very important time right now for Pizzi. Again, you mentioned stamina as he tries to hang in there. Right on the edge.
Pizzi in on a single leg, switching to a double leg. They are right on the edge of the mat.
And they fall out of bounds. 1:17 remaining. They'll go neutral from there.
Hooks qualified as a 9th grader in the Southwestern Regional Tournament back in 1994 at 140 pounds. He did not place in that tournament. Of course, he is a defending state champion from last year's PIAA championship.
There's the time remaining in the match, 4-1. Chamie Hooks, defending state champ out of Kittanning. That is District 7. The District 7 showdown. Hooks going underneath. Pizzi out of bounds, and he may be hurt.
And he's going to call for another timeout.
Here it is, Jim, and it looks there it was. It's the right arm. Mark's right on it.
Yeah, right there.
underneath.
You can see already he's immediately favoring it. Yeah, he's...
Bicep. That really smarts.
Not this one, the other one.
I'm not sure how much injury time he has left on the clock, but it's not going to be an awful lot. He has 2 minutes total injury time.
That's what's left in the match. It's 4-1.
Chamie hooks in on another single leg.
He's got to turn him around. He's got almost. Oh, he saved it.
Trouble. Hooks knows it. He's in the hunt now.
Out of bounds, no points. Oh, is that big? The escape makes it 5-3. 21 seconds left. We're going down the stretch again.
Chamie Hooks is going to be coming hard for this one.
Pizzi holding on from the top position. There's the time remaining.
Hooks is in on a single leg. Pizzi trying to hang on.
State championship at stake.
Hooks trying to turn in on him.
Crowd coming to their feet. 3 seconds to go. Pizzi hanging on and got it done. Oh, my. What a finish. Pizzi looks over to the McGuffey following this here. They got a huge contingent. What a match that turned out to be. Eric Pizzi, a 5-3 winner against Chamie Hooks. Let's go to the medal ceremony now, 140 pounds. Brian Burrows, a 5-1 winner against Robbie Weichel. Burrows out of Hempfield Area, District 7, undefeated at 39-0 now. He's 107-13 overall. Again, this is one of those workmanlike matchups tonight where strength and just kind of strategy kind of won out here.
These two wrestlers tangled in a very hard-fought match. Brian Burrows, Hempfield Area, District 7, state champion at 140 pounds over Robbie Weichel from Bellefonte, District 6.
Let's go to 152 now. Robbie Wailer, District 7, only a sophomore, Mount Pleasant area. Rob Wailer is his coach, father that is, 35-1. He's 55-1 overall. Bruce Cridge, District 7, senior. Ken McMillan, Ken Smith, interim coach in. He's 38-0, 109-22 lifetime.
Bruce Cridge is wearing the green anklet. Robbie Wailer wearing the red anklet. Robbie Wailer has got an extremely bad shoulder. He's had it operated on once and apparently is scheduled to have it operated on again as soon as the season is over. Robbie Wailer in the red uniform. You can see that shoulder all taped up.
Bruce Cridge to the right of your screen from Canada McMillan. Again, we mentioned one of 8 undefeated wrestlers. The only one to go down to defeat thus far has been Terry Jeffries at 135 out of Erie Cathedral Prep. He lost his particular match to Sean Shapert.
Rob Wailer from Mount Pleasant, District 7, is only a 10th grader. In 9th grade, he was had an excellent dual meet season going on.
Whoa!
Wow, not only out of bounds, but off the mat.
You talk bad shoulder and everything else, Mark. We said that's the last place you want to go onto the wooded area because that's what protects the ice surface underneath.
Oh, it's like hitting concrete. It's very hard, a nice surface with some boards above it. And that time, the two wrestlers, especially Robbie Wailer, hit very hard. Robbie Wailer got up holding the small of his back.
That goes to show you how much speed there really is. I mean, those guys just flew off of there. Underneath a minute to go now in the opening period of 152.
During the 1995 season, as a 9th grader, Robbie Wailer got mononucleosis and was out of school for a number of weeks and did not compete in the PIAA championships as a result.
35 seconds left. There's the time, as you see, at 152.
Bruce Cridge is a 3rd place finisher at 152 pounds from last year's tournament. He lost in the quarterfinal round to Rob Rohn from Nazareth High School, District 11, 8-6.
Go to Mark Shuey. Mark?
Robbie Wailer, a little bit of blood coming out of his bottom lip. That time they had a little hand check at the center of the mat, and Robbie Wailer got popped in the mouth, drew a little bit of blood. He notified the referee right away, went over to his dad, cleaned it up. He's back out there wrestling.
Robbie Wailer has not given up very many points in this tournament. In his 3 qualifying matches to make it into this final bout, he's only given up 1 point.
Begrudgingly, I'm sure.
And he's only in 10th grade.
Never ceases to amaze me, the young talent that's in this state, and it's always somebody younger ready to take over and take the mantle.
Bruce Cridge is a Mannheim Holiday Tournament winner this year.
Still working on that bloody lip underneath.
Red, your choice.
One thing I want to compliment PIAA on is the medical staff here. I mean, they have everything covered, and it's just amazing how far sports medicine has come for a tournament of this kind. I mean, they just have top shelf care ready to go at a moment's notice, mat side. Robbie Wailer,
Quick shoulder roll.
And it's going to be a 1-point escape, and that's all.
Cridge with a quick shoulder roll. Robbie Wailer could not hang on.
Bruce Cridge to the right of your screen from Cannon McMillan. They had 3 guys make the final
without a head coach.
The champion. Yeah, since Thursday night. I'm sure he's thrilled we're bringing that up all the time, too, Jim. Escorted out in the controversy, I think, of the weekend. We'll just leave it at that. 1:15 left in the second period.
Robbie Wailer has a great move twice. Jeremy Sauve from Cumberland Valley, who was 3rd ranked in the state coming into the tournament, had Wailer in a single leg takedown. Wailer hit a sort of a grab his opponent's leg kind of shoulder roll thing, came out on top and got a takedown all 3 times, ended up winning that bout 6-1. And of course that 1 point was the only one that Wailer gave up in the 3 matches he wrestled in to make it here into the finals.
Turning to action, 50 seconds now left in this second period. 1-0 the score.
Both of these wrestlers very, very tentative about making a shot on their opponent. They know that if they go halfway with any move at all, they're going to get countered and points are going to be awarded.
Here at 152 pounds, Bruce Cridge with a scant 1-point lead. No points at all. Mark, it seems to put the building a little bit in a low stage. 8,284 tonight at the arena for the AAA championship. It's quiet in here right now.
Well, it's about as quiet as 8,400 people can get, I guess. But you're right. It is packed to the rafters. You look to the last row of seats in this grand old gal, which turned 60 years old this year, by the way. And even the last rows are filled. There is not a seat to be had here and along the rails. If you've ever been here before, standing room only, and they're packed in 4 deep along the rails.
Mentioned 53,000 throughout the entire tournament for each of the sessions between double and AAA here at the Hershey Park Arena. Mark, we were talking earlier that that's been the site of a lot of different interesting type of things. Will Chamberlain's 100th point. Only 3,800 were actually there that night, but 1 million people claim to have seen it.
That's right. Of course, the Hershey Bears American Hockey League team plays here. They've won 6 Calder Cups in this building, which celebrates, as I said, its 60th birthday this year, built in 1936.
That'll end the second period right there. 1-0. Bruce Cridge is on top by 1.
Wailer's going to take the down position. Of course, he's got to score. He's got to get out.
You know, like most of the matches in championship round, the third period seems to like the last 30 seconds. Kind of like an NBA game here on Parade of Champions.
Yeah, these guys are so evenly matched that it comes down to just the last couple of seconds of the third period frequently. Wailer has a great stand-up. Bruce Cridge is going to have a tough time holding him down.
Stop.
Cridge holding on top.
Wailer trying to get hand control. Cridge trying to hang on.
Ooh, Cridge going to get some points here. Looks to be a scoring move, maybe, if he can turn him around.
Wailer rolled out of it.
Oh.
Now Cridge is in trouble. Wailer's got his leg tied up in a single leg position.
Look at that shoulder wrap right there. If you don't think there's heart, determination, courage, or anything else. Battling it out, looking for gold here at 152 pounds. I think they're going to get neutral and lock out of bounds here, and that's close. Not yet. There it is. 1 point to tie the match.
My time.
Give it to Robbie Wailer.
Go ahead. We got blood on the
We are tied at 1.
Want to clean it out, Red?
All right, got more of a delay coming. Minute 13 left.
You have a towel?
Tied at 1. Robbie Wailer, Bruce Cridge. Update everybody maybe on sudden death, Jim. Is it first scoring play for the most part?
If they are tied after the 3-minute regulation period, they go into a 2-minute sudden death overtime period, which both wrestlers start from a standing position. The first one to score in any way, shape, or form is declared the winner. If they're tied after that, they move into a 30-second double overtime period where a coin is flipped. The winner gets to choose top position or bottom position. If he gets out from the bottom position, he is the winner. If he doesn't, he's the loser.
Look at Cridge. He's holding him up now.
Cridge with a double leg takedown right on the edge of the mat. And Wailer doing a very nice job of getting out of that. He's got Cridge right in the edge of the mat. He's got his leg tied up, and he's going to return the favor right there at the edge of the mat. And that was one of the things I talked about, Jed. He's so good at rolling out of any kind of a predicament.
Scissors dangerous.
The head scissors. Bruce Cridge with a head scissors. That's an illegal move. Wow, with 39 seconds left in the third period of the state championships, a illegal head scissors, and the score is now 2-1 in favor of Robbie Wailer.
That woke the building up, though.
Bruce Cridge has got to get a takedown here.
Cridge rolling him over. Can he follow through on it? There's the time remaining in the match at 1:52. 2-1. Wailer with the lead. There's Bruce Cridge.
You can see the determination trying to get 2 points. Wailer, of course, has his hands locked. No 2 points have been awarded yet.
Here we go. There's final 10 seconds of the match.
And there's 2 points quickly. That's a 2-point takedown for Cridge.
Gives him a 3-2 lead. He's in control, and he's going to win it. Final second. Bruce Cridge.
Whoa, and a back flip to boot.
To the medal stand we go. There you're looking at Eric Pizzi at 145. Chamie Hooks, defending champ. He's to the left of your screen. Out of Kittanning, he's a runner-up this time in what was a very entertaining and even match at 145.
Rematch of their regional finals. Pizzi won that one. Pizzi won today. Eric Pizzi from McGuffey, our state champion at 145 pounds, over defending state champion Chamie Hooks from Kittanning.
Go to 160 now. Out of Hempfield Area, District 7, second of the night. Bob Gordon, head coach. Vince DeAugustine. He is a junior, 36-1. He's 101-16 lifetime. Up against Rob Roan, junior as well, District 11, Nazareth, Ray Nunamaker. He's 32-2, 70-12. If Roan's name's familiar, it is. It's an interesting dilemma for the family, somewhat.
Rob Roan, his father is, of course, Don Roan from Northampton High School, but he does wrestle for Ray Nunamaker at Nazareth.
2-point takedown already for Rob Roan, a junior.
Right off the bat, Vince DeAugustine got poked in the eye or banged in the eye.
Yeah.
Got another one. This is getting rough. Mark had a good angle of it down there. Mark, what did you see?
Oh, I think Rob Roan came through with a crossface, and it got a piece of DeAugustine, and DeAugustine is checking to see if there is any blood. I think the doctors came out and determined that, no, you weren't bleeding. So Let's get back, get to it.
Only 10 seconds in. It's 2-0. Little escape point. Now it's 2-1.
Rob Roan in the green anklet. Vince DiAugustine in the red anklet.
Or solid blue singlet. Now Roan to the left of your screen.
Rob Roan ranked first in the state. Vince DiAugustine ranked second in the state.
Ooh, DiAugustine trying to put a move on. Trying to lock his arm. Crowd comes to their feet a little bit. Roan holds on for dear life.
Right on
Again, a coach's son. You know he's disciplined in this kind of trouble.
Oh, he gets it coming and going. He gets it from Nunemaker, his coach at school, and when he comes home, who does he face? His dad, Don Roan from Northampton.
Mark, what do you have for us?
Don Roan is a famous wrestler up in the northwest sector of the state as well. Not only his high school exploits at Northampton, but he was a very well-known wrestler at Clarion University. Don Roan even, I believe, graced the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine at one point.
2-1 the score. 45 seconds remaining now in the opening period, as you see on your screen to the upper left.
Vince DiAugustine entered the 1995 state championships as a Southwestern regional champion. He lost to Travis Dodo from Nazareth High School, who was the eventual champion, 8-1 at 145 pounds. He did not place last year.
Both these guys have been impressive at 160 to get here. Pretty much the Thunder at 160, and it turned out that way.
2 years ago in 1994 as a ninth grader, he came to the tournament. Vince DiAugustine came to the tournament as a Southwestern runner-up. He lost in the finals to Scott Kurtz from Shamokin, District 4, 14-5. Vince DiAugustine in the finals again tonight. He's got a 2-point takedown.
Roan with a fire to put out, now trailing 3-2. As we count down the final seconds of period number 1 in the championship in AAA at 160 pounds.
Time, guys, right here.
These two guys evenly matched. Again, no strangers to each other. District 11, just a magnificent year there. They got the #1 team in America and Eastern area. Jamar Billman, the champion tonight at 130, but just so many programs in District 11. We've mentioned District 7. But, you know, you talk about Pennsylvania individually, but it's just got such great depth in certain regions and pockets and everything, Jim.
Yeah, Nazareth High School is also ranked nationally. They're at least in the top 15. Northampton, of course, has been a perennial power, with the exception of this year. Northampton usually has a top 10 team itself.
But you got to rebuild now and then. It happens.
Even to the best of them, I guess.
That's right.
Offense, gentlemen.
Rob Roan took 4th place at 152 pounds in last year's championships.
Oh, let's go.
That's a double stall call.
Now that's going to be points awarded.
Yeah. Double stall, gentlemen. You have to try to work a takedown, all right?
One of the things that Roan has done is he has appeared to run out of gas in his matches that have been kept close.
I'm getting closer than where we're at now, 3-3. Minute 20 to go in the second period. Championship at 160 pounds.
Vince DiAugustine survived a 7-6 match against Jason Rawls from Harrisburg, District 3, in his semifinal bid.
There they are, locking horns like two rams. I mean, it doesn't look like they're doing anything right there on your screen or in the stands, but there's so much physical exertion, as we talk about, just in that neutral standstill.
Oh, there's a lot of straining and a lot of pushing going on that is not easily observed from the stands. If you want to really appreciate just how tough and rugged these guys are, you got to be mat side.
Like Mark Shuey is. Mark, I mean, we look at that, and they're pushing at one another in the same weight class, but the physical exertion that they're going through is really amazing.
Well, it's like isometrics, the principle of pushing one object against another object, pushing your hands against one another. That force against an equal force, it will create a lot of strenuous activity, and these guys are really, really straining out here. And I believe, like you said, Jim, I believe Rob Roan is running out of gas a little bit. He seems to be stalling at some time.
Yeah. In fact, both wrestlers just got called for stalling again, and so each wrestler has a penalty point awarded to them to tie it up 4-4.
There's your time remaining in the second period. Championship at 160. Whoa, right by the table. And again, Mark had mentioned earlier why they have two officials. To protect you from flying around. These guys are such great athletes. I think one of the reasons why we don't talk about speed so much in wrestling is they're confined to such a limited area, Jim. But, I mean, these guys are just in fabulous condition. And they're just very athletic. We've seen jumping ability by a lot of these kids and being able to twist and turn like they are. I mean, it's the average sports fan doesn't really appreciate it because I think of just the tight confine of the arena that they're in.
You have to have a lot of physical attributes to be a very good wrestler. Personally, I think that balance is probably the most important one. You can get by with minimal strength, but if you have balance, there are so many situations in wrestling where there are scrambles for points, and anybody that has good balance usually comes out ahead in any kind of a scramble situation.
Speaking of scramble situation, Vince DeAugustine worked his way out of one right there.
Injury clock, red. Injury
And he
clock.
is hurt, and I mean, he took a right underneath the ear there. After the injury timeout, we pick up the action. We're in the final period. It's tied at 4. Opening 30 seconds.
Thrown again with that, grabbing the head and the arm, throwing a double grapevine to hang on and hold him down. He's got 1 minute and 35 seconds to try and pick up some back points.
Stalemate started over.
Another stalemate call.
Each wrestler has been warned for stalling. That's big now. With 1 minute and 24 seconds remaining, we are tied at 4. Next one on either wrestler results in a point penalty. It may just come to that. Well, the two storylines, you've got the injury to DeAugustine. Does he have enough? Is he 100%? And is Rob Rowan, does he have enough stamina to get through the remaining 1 minute in this match?
And you can see Rowan hanging on to the top of DeAugustine's head. He's got a head and an arm and really just sort of hanging on.
He went right after. That's the area that was injured a little bit, and you can see DeAugustine is feeling it. Mark, he looks like Gumby without the wires at this point.
That's right. Well, Jim Davis said earlier that those injuries you tend to put a big red light on, and right now Rob Rowan sees that red light in the head and neck area. Vince DeAugustine, he's really putting pressure on that area.
Giving up the 1-point escape was Rowan. Will that come back and cost him? We will see. It's 5-4 now. Vince DeAugustine.
Somebody's nose.
Got a nose now.
I got blood over here. I got blood on the mat there.
There you can hear it. They're going to have to get out there and clean that out. Positions. Now they'll meet front and center in the neutral position. Time remaining in the match. Third period. It's 5-4. Vince DeAugustine leads by 1.
These two wrestlers struggling for a takedown. Rob Rowan, you have to respect him, letting his opponent up, trying to get a takedown to win the match. He knows letting him up gives him that advantage in points. 5-4. Vince DeAugustine is ahead.
Coach's son thinking it all through, framing it all through.
Wipe it off.
DeAugustine, they're going to tell him to wipe it off again now.
He wants to just wipe it off. That's all right. We're not on the clock.
You heard the referee saying we're not on the clock.
Okay. All right.
Take your time.
Okay.
They do want to move the show along,
Just
however.
wipe it off. Ready.
Time remaining 20 seconds. 5-4. There's going to be a wild flurry. Strap in and watch.
Rob Rowan just has a couple of seconds to get a 2-point takedown. A lateral drop attempt. Did not do well.
He's pointing. Vince DeAugustine puts a big move at the end and got it done. Survives an injury-plagued match and wins by a deceiving 10-4 final. Let's go to the award ceremony now at 152 pounds. Bruce Cridge, a 5-2 winner against Robbie Wailer earlier. Candy McMillan, Bruce Cridge, he put the move on late again, and he was an explosive talent tonight.
Oh, definitely, Jed. He took third at 152 pounds last year. He is the 152-pound 1996 champion this year, Bruce Cridge from Cannon-McMillan.
Go to 171 pounds. Shikellamy Brave, Kurt Reed, front and center. Phil Luckoff, his coach, 35-1. He's 104-26 overall in his career. Senior, Steve Buciero out of Franklin Regional, District 7. Stan Musidis, his coach, 34-0. This is going to be a real good one. Kurt Smith, you say, is one of the good guys to look for in this particular tournament. He's been one of the most impressive customers, you would say, that you have seen since Thursday.
Kurt Reed from Shikellamy, District 4, has been just on a tear. First opponent he pinned in the first period, 45 seconds. His second opponent he pinned in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. His third opponent, 20-7 was the score. He's in the finals against Buciero from Franklin Region, District 7.
Big takedown right there. Look at the upper body strength on this. Mark, I don't know where they're hiding these pounds to get on that scale and only clip in a 171. These guys look like defensive linemen.
Well, let me tell you, that 171 pounds on each of these guys, it's all muscle, not an ounce of fat. Kurt Reed, Steve Buciero, they are really going at it here in period number 1, minute 36 to go in this first period. And it's 2-1, Kurt Reed of Shikellamy.
Kurt Reed from Shikellamy is wearing the red anklet. Buciero from Franklin Regional is wearing the green. He just picked up a quick 2-point takedown.
Oh, right there, the official stands in front of the table. Good action early, Jim, in the opening minute. 3-2 now. Steve Buciero out in front.
This promises to be a very good match. Buciero undefeated. Kurt Reed has one loss, and that was to the pin master, Rick Umstead from Northampton. At 189 pounds, Kurt Reed moved up from 171 to wrestle him against Northampton when Shikellamy and Northampton had a dual meet this year. Kurt Reed had a comfortable lead, apparently, and Mr. Umstead from Northampton caught him on his back and pinned him, and that is Kurt Reed's only loss so far this year.
You're in. You're in.
Buciero is, of course, undefeated.
Tied at 3, 40 seconds remaining now in the opening period. I love that handle, the pin master. You gotta like that.
Back in 1995, Kurt Reed was a Northeastern second-place finisher qualifying for the state tournament. He lost his semifinal bout to Vertus Jones from Greensburg-Salem, who was the eventual state champion, 9-7 in overtime. He finished third in that championship.
He has really run into some marbles in the road. I mean, you mentioned Vertus Jones a year ago. I mean, this guy is a name everybody, when they always talk about previewing throughout his career with Shikellamy, he's always been great in dual situations. And now maybe, you know, the luck got him right through to the final. This guy has just been always knocking on the door, but just couldn't get through.
He's got such tremendous power. But Buciero's doing a very nice job, taking him 3-3, tied up in the second period.
Reggie first to Green. Green chooses down, second period.
Buciero's going to go right to the bottom now. It's tied at 3. That was a pretty good-looking first period of action at 171. Sorry, Jim.
You can see just how strong these guys are.
Look at Buciero. Look at those. Mark, you call those steam pipes for arms, don't you?
Yeah, and these guys, they both have huge steam pipes at 171 pounds, and it's only going to get bigger from here on in. Dave Heckard and Todd Hockenbrock at 189. We've yet to see them. And then the 275-pounders, the heavyweights, Rick Gilliam, a Big Spring, Coy Wire, Cedar Cliff. They're all on deck.
Kurt Reed working for a takedown. Buciero doing a nice job countering. Shearer had no trouble getting out from the bottom position. One of the things that Kurt Reed did this year in a dual meet against Cumberland Valley High School is he moved up to 189 pounds and wrestled Dave Heckard, who we're going to see at the 189-pound final. He gave Heckard his only loss this year.
Stalemate right there. Still 4-3. Charo's leading by 1. Clings to that 1-point advantage.
And these two wrestlers come into this tournament ranked 1 and 2 in the state. Kurt Reed ranked number 1. Buchero ranked number 2.
Underneath a minute to go now in the second period. You see on the screen, we'll keep it there for you. 4-3 the score. And out in front, Steve Buchero, Franklin Regional, undefeated at 34-0.
In the 1995 PIAA State Championships, Buchero qualified as a Southwestern runner-up. He lost his quarterfinal bid, ended up in the consolation bracketing, and did not place. And it's a very, very quick move by Reed to get 2-point takedown. One of the things both of these wrestlers possess is not only strength, but they have tremendous quickness.
31 seconds, second period, 31.
Again, the official right there telling him how much time. 5-4. Kurt Smith is out in front here.
One red.
Kurt Reed was a Mannheim Holiday Tournament champion and outstanding wrestler with 2 falls and 2 technical falls to his credit in that tournament. Buchero in on a single leg, right on the edge of the mat.
Third period, gentlemen, Red's choice. Red chooses down, third and final.
Reed's going to take the bottom position. Of course, he is very, very difficult to hang on to.
Final period, close at hand, tied at 5. Right back where we started at 171. Kurt Smith, he's the guy on top. You want to say he's got his hands full, but his leg is full right now because I'll tell you, Buchero's love nothing more than to roll through that move.
Set red, on green.
Kurt Reed from the bottom position needs to get an escape here. Buchero, of course, has to work for a fall, which is not going to be possible. With a quick escape by Reed, he's up 6-5. Right on the edge of the mat.
Boy, Mark, you've talked about the official. He was right there to catch the wrestler right before the floor.
He certainly did his job again. Once again, he was right there to prevent the wrestlers from rolling out onto this very hard wooden floor that's beneath the mats. Minute 12 to go here, third period. It's a good one, 6-5. Reed over Buchero.
Whistle, another delay.
Looks like Reed got poked in the eye.
Gentlemen, 1:06 to go. Third and final.
Now the official told you right there, 1:06 left. Championship at 171 pounds. Kurt Reed out of Shikellamy. Steve Buchero out of Franklin Regional.
Buchero not afraid to shoot in on Kurt Reed. Kurt Reed, of course, with tremendous quickness, can spin around behind at any time, and he's already done that for one takedown that he's earned so far this match. Buchero in on a single leg.
Out of bounds.
There's your time remaining. It's still 6-5, and with a neutral position, Steve Buchero has to get something cooking here.
And no one has been warned for stalling in this match yet.
So he took a right under the jaw area. It looked like he got an inadvertent, like the back of the head. I think Smith's holding on for dear life. Whistle.
Stalling.
Got a stalling warning, and they're calling it on Smith. 9 seconds to go.
Kurt Reed is going to win a state title.
Kurt Reed, done. Kurt Reed with a state championship. Wins it 6-5, barely, but good enough. Well, he did what he was supposed to do, clinging to the 1-point lead, especially going out of the neutral area like that, neutral stance, and clings to the 1-point advantage. Let's go to Mark Shuey with a special guest here at the Hershey Park Arena right now. Mark?
Thanks, Jed. Once again, WITF is proud to be working with Hershey Park for this exciting wrestling tournament. To make this broadcast possible, I'm with Franklin Shearer, Vice President and General Manager of the Hershey Park Group. Franklin, thank you for having us in the building, and you got to be excited about this wrestling tournament this afternoon.
We are indeed, Mark. In fact, Hershey Park and the Hershey Entertainment and Resort Company is pleased to underwrite the TV production costs of the PIAA Wrestling Championships right here at Hershey Park Arena.
Mr. Shearer, on my way in this morning, I noticed that there was a lot of construction involved in the Hershey Park Arena area. Can you tell us about that?
Sure can. That construction represents our new Wildcat wooden Cyclone roller coaster. This is a state-of-the-art wooden Cyclone roller coaster that's sure to excite many coaster enthusiasts. It will be unveiled this summer at Hershey Park for Memorial Day weekend.
Also, you have some construction going on with the stadium itself.
We do indeed. We've entered into a long-term agreement with Electric Factory Concerts out of Philadelphia. Electric Factory is one of the most respected promoters in the country today, and we're looking forward to a long-term arrangement with them. We're actually changing the venue so that we can play stadium concerts, as everybody's always been used to seeing them. But also to the northern end of that stage, we'll be doing a brand-new venue called the Hershey Park Star Pavilion. And we'll be playing to mid-sized concerts there as well, drawing more concerts to Hershey, Pennsylvania this summer.
A lot to look forward to this summer at the Hershey Park Arena in the Hershey Park area. Thank you, Mr. Franklin Shearer, Vice President and General Manager of the Hershey Park Group.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much, Mark. Welcome back to the Hershey Park Arena. You heard things going on around here. Jed Donahue, Jim Davis. You just saw Mark Shuey. Going to go to the medal ceremony now at 160 pounds. Vince DeAugustine, he fought off a lot of adversity injury-wise to get through Rob Roan tonight, 10-4. A match a lot closer than the final score would lead you to believe.
Yeah, his neck injury really looked like it hurt Rob Roan. A valiant effort, let him up in the final period trying to get a takedown to win the match. Of course, letting him up gave him that point advantage, and Rob Roan knew it before he did it. Vince DeAugustine got a quick 5-point move on Roan's desperation at the end of the third period. Vince DeAugustine from Hempfield, District 7, our state champion at 160 pounds.
There you see gold coming momentarily to Vince DeAugustine. Goes right through the draw and wins it. Let's go to 189 pounds. Dave Heckard out of Cumberland Valley, senior, District 3. 34-1. His coach, Roger Barrick, goes up against Todd Hockenbrock out of Shamokin area. Paul Stamen, his coach, he's 34-2. Jim, set us up here.
Dave Heckard, of course, I mentioned earlier, has one loss to his record. That is to our champion at 171 pounds, Kurt Reed from Shikellamy. Kurt Reed, of course, made weight at 171 pounds and then moved up to wrestle Dave Heckard from Cumberland Valley in their dual meet. Todd Hockenbrock did not place last year. Dave Heckard has been very, very tough. He pinned his way through his regional, South Central regional tournament to make it and qualify into this PIAA championships. He has been the man to beat at this tournament.
Great football player as well, fullback.
Todd Hockenbrock struggled in his semifinal bout against Bob Topper from New Oxford, also from District 3. Dave Heckard pinned Topper from New Oxford in their final bout in the South Central Regional Tournament. Back in 1995, Dave Heckard made it into the finals by beating John Flamish from Deeriff High School, District 11, 6 seconds left in the 30-second overtime period. Flemish had 3 start cautions on him. That's a point, and that was in that double overtime period. Heckard lost in the finals against Kurt Haynes from Gettysburg, 7-4.
Heckard, a point machine in this opening period, leading 4-1.
Most of his moves have so much strength behind them that they're very, very difficult to counter.
So we're close up, man.
They see the face of Todd Hockenbrock.
Todd Hockenbrock entered this tournament ranked 4th in the state.
Keep working, let's go.
Dave Heckard from the top position, very comfortable riding cross body. He's also very comfortable taking a 4-1 lead into the second period of this match.
Green choice, green. Green to first, red. Red chooses down. Red chooses down. Okay, red, get set.
From the down position, Dave Heckard will be up on his feet in a hurry. He has a very, very good stand-up.
Second period to start.
Neutral.
There's the 1-point escape, and it's 5-1. Now we can find out what they're made of.
Back in 1994, Dave Heckard qualified as the South Central Regional Tournament champion at 171 pounds. He did not place in the PIAA championships that year.
Fix that headgear.
There you see him fixing some headgear
here
there. Mark, some of the people have seen their favorites in the earlier weight classes. Now we see some little bit of an exit thing going on.
Not much, though. It's still a packed house here at the Hershey Park Arena, you know, and that's one thing about wrestling fans. They are committed to their sport, as the athletes are committed to their sport. Wrestling fans just enjoy watching wrestling. We were watching the consolations here earlier prior to these championships, and the stands were basically full for the consolations as well. People just enjoy watching wrestling.
They'll go through any bad weather, too, Jim. I mean, this hadn't been exactly Chamber of Commerce video being filmed around this area this weekend, with temperatures in the teens, wind chills below 0, and a little ice storm to start things off on the first day of the tournament.
It's been rather difficult getting into the parking lot, and
but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Wrestling fans are going to be here regardless.
5-1 the score. Dave Heckard with the 4-point lead. Middle period, there's your time remaining.
Heckard in on another single leg. Got it lifted very high. And Hockenbrock's going to be in a lot of trouble if he can't get out of bounds.
Heckard just holding on, trying to drag him back in.
Now he's got the other one right there at the edge of the mat. That's
going to give him the point.
2-point takedown.
Smart by Heckard. Dragged him out long enough. Kept control, which was the key to the move right there to keeping the points alive.
Got the one leg that he had under control. Reached out, grabbed the second one right on the edge of the mat for a 2-point takedown.
One green, neutral.
Hockenbrock, of course, right out. In on a single leg on his own. And Heckard with a quick spin around move. He's got to bring him to the mat for a 2-point takedown.
Time runs out on the second period.
Need time? You need time?
Well, Dave Heckard with a commanding 7-2 lead. Cumberland Valley High School, and he's shaking up a little bit. Mark, can you see what's going on down there? Because he's really hurting.
Yeah, Dave Heckard of Cumberland Valley, who seems to be in firm control of this match, is pointing to his abdominal region. Of course, the doctors and his head coach, Roger Barrick of Cumberland Valley, are out there attending to him. The injury clock has begun on Dave Heckard, who owns a 7-2 lead. And we are just going to start the third period here momentarily as soon as Dave Heckard gets his wind. He may have gotten the wind knocked out of him there. Looking at the abdominal region once again. Dave Heckard with a 7-2 lead. As you said, he's used to getting bumped around. He's a standout member of the Cumberland Valley football team. One of the best teams in the state year in, year out.
Looks to be okay. Again, the meter's running. 2 minutes you mentioned. That doesn't sound like a long time. And we mentioned earlier today that 6 minutes doesn't sound like a long time until you think about in terms of a tornado or something being only 30 seconds. I mean, you do a lot in 6 minutes out here.
Oh, definitely. These guys really work hard. And anybody that's wrestled 6 minutes can tell you it is a absolute grueling event.
12 minutes if you count this morning with the semifinals. Hey, that's a rough day. You get up at 8 in the morning, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you're going to wrestle the most important match maybe of your life or the year.
Yeah.
Other than that, have a nice day. It's 8 a.m.
In front of 8,000 people. Thank you very much.
And if you win, you get to come back tonight and do 6 more minutes. And we'll put a little more heat on you. It's gold medal time. But you get through with adrenaline and everything. I got to think that you kind of hit the wall when all this is done and the excitement is there. And time to go away from wrestling for a while.
Oh, yeah. I think that a lot of these guys really look forward to taking a couple of weeks off, a couple of months off, and maybe even longer than that for some of them. But most of these guys are really dedicated. They spend a lot of time going to summer tournaments, going to summer wrestling camps. Those kinds of guys have an awful lot of dedication, and they deserve certainly all the accolades that anybody can give to them.
7-3, Dave Heckard very much in control. That's how much time remains in the match at 189 pounds.
In last year's championships, Dave Heckard was a very light 189-pounder. He could have made 171 pounds, but he didn't want to diet and go down. He figured, well, I want to keep my weight up for football, so I'm going to wrestle with the big boys, and he did very well, as I mentioned, placing second in that tournament.
Heckard, he's a point machine, Jim. It's 9-3, counting it down. He's on top. All he's got to do is ride it. No stall warnings to worry about. It's good to be him right now, is basically what we're saying at 189. You're looking at your gold medal. He's beginning to feel it. 3 seconds. 2. District 3 has a champion in the Cumberland Valley fans who made their way here to the arena. Hometown product wins in his hometown building. Dave Heckard of Cumberland Valley has gotten it done. Let's go to 171. Kurt Reed, a winner 6-5 over Steve Buchero. And there he is out of Shikellamy, a Brave, and he is just that at 171. Heavies, we've got Rick Gilliam, east to the right of your screen, out of Big Spring. Coy Wire, Cedar Cliff. I think Wire's given up, let's say 30 or 40 pounds here. Gilliam's a hard 270, big 33 going to West Virginia in a football scholarship.
I talked to one of the weighmasters this morning, and they said that Coy Wire weighed in at about 195 pounds, so he's given up an awful lot of weight.
He's at 195. Again, the subtle differences, how well they hide it. I don't know where. It'll be a mystery to me.
Coy Wire could have made 189 pounds if he wanted to, but he and Dave Heckard, who just won the state championships at 189 pounds, are good friends. And Wire apparently did not want to wrestle him, so he figured, hey, what the heck, I'll go at heavyweight.
These two are no strangers to one another. They wrestled in the districts. Wire won that 2-1, and, I mean, they've been really squaring off for a while.
Yeah, they really have. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. These guys have tangled 3 times so far this season. Gilliam won the first match handily. Wire won the second one 2-1. Wire won the third one 2-1. Here they are meeting again. It's an all-District 3 final. Rick Gilliam from Big Spring, Coy Wire from Cedar Cliff.
53,529. That's the attendance for the PIAA Wrestling Championships. We're very grateful from our standpoint for people with the PIAA, Bob Lombardi, Executive Director Brad Cashman, especially our host, the Hershey Park Arena, everybody involved there. That's a good way to end it right here. 195 against 270.
Rick Gilliam's head coach, Jay Hockenbrock, was a state champion for East Juniata High School back in the 70s.
So we're coming out neutral. Back to center. Sit.
Mark Wailer, he's only a junior, but he's being looked at by Penn State already, and he's going to be a big-time look for a lot of Division I schools all over the country. And this is one of the best football prospects we're looking at for 1997.
Well, that's right, Jed. You mentioned that Rick Gilliam is a Big 33 member. It's probably, this match could probably be billed as a Big 33 member against a future Big 33 member. Coy Wailer will probably make that Pennsylvania High School All-Star football team next year as a senior.
The buzzer sounds, scoreless at the end of one. These guys are not point machines against each other, as their 2-1 district final would attest to, Jim.
Certainly not. Rick Gilliam has been in the tournament before at heavyweight. He took fifth at 275 pounds last year. Wailer qualified for the tournament. He took the South Central third-place finish to make it here. He lost his quarterfinal bid. He was at 171 pounds last year. And as we mentioned, is only at about 195 pounds now.
Didn't result in points, but it was ferocious looking 2 seconds in.
Well, Coy Wailer from the bottom position is going to hit his stand-up, get hand control, and try to get away from big, bad Rick Gilliam.
In and down, son.
Rick Gilliam has pinned his way into the finals. He pinned every single wrestler that he's right on the edge of the mat. A 2-point reversal.
Coy Wailer is out 2-0.
Right at the edge of the mat, and Coy Wailer actually had him up in the air for that one.
That goes to show you how strong Coy Wailer is. I mean, Gilliam is 260, 270.
Okay, Red, get set again. Here we go. Here we go.
I talked to Gilliam during the Big 33 announcement. He says, oh, we always look for respect on the football field for Big Spring. He's the first Big 33 alum to make that particular cut. And I have a feeling that may translate, even though Big Spring's had 2 champions before this. They're not in the big time, like, I guess, big conference in their particular area. And it is a matter of finding respect and gaining respect in this kind of venue.
Rick Gilliam definitely wants
to
stay
it now. I mean,
he's got a lot of gusto. You've got to really give him credit. He really works hard.
We're going to wrestle offense in here. Right here. Set.
Last year, he lost to the eventual champion Jason Palmer in the semifinals 4-3. And as I mentioned before, he hung on to take 5th place at 275 pounds in the 1995 PIAA championships.
There you see him. Gilliam to the left of your screen, Wailer to the right. Final minute now, the second period. It's 2-1. Coy Wailer with a 1-point edge. This is how their district final ended. He's going to need more than 2 points to get Gilliam tonight, I have a feeling.
Rick Gilliam ranked 2nd in the state at the start of the tournament. Coy Wailer ranked 1st. Coy Wailer has been warned.
That's offense. Yeah.
Those loom large.
Coy Wailer a little tentative to shoot in on a single leg or a double leg on Rick Gilliam. He knows that if he takes a shot and doesn't finish it, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He is in on a single leg right at the edge of the mat. Gilliam wisely backs out.
At the center, stay in the center, both of you. Offense in here, guys. Sit.
Final 10 seconds, as you see, of the second period. It's still 2-1. Coy Wailer with that takedown. Holds on.
Rick Gilliam can't wait to get in that bottom position because he knows he's coming out.
Mark, Coy Wailer, where's the knee situation on the right? It's a football injury from a couple of years ago. Well, let's go to Mark. Mark's explaining that as we start this third period about the knee. We'll get to that later. You can see, boy, just trying to get a handle on Gilliam. I mean, he is a big guy.
Nobody has been able to hold Gilliam down.
It doesn't look like this is going to work either. Escape point tied at 2.
Coy Wailer just cuts him loose, gives him the escape, tied up at 2 points apiece.
Whoa.
Get them sit down. Get them sitting down. Have them sit down.
You can see the coaching staff urging Gilliam on.
I don't know if I want to be one of those newspaper photographers and have Big Rick timbering my way. Wire gets out of bounds.
Sit, gentlemen. Sit.
And again, Wire has that stall call, and there's another one, and that is a point for Rick Gilliam.
Let's go to Mark Shuey. Bob Craig, very animated on the Coy Wire side. Mark?
No question about it. The first stall call against Coy Wire, Coach Craig jumped up and he said, why don't you make the big guy try to shoot? Meaning Rick Gilliam of Big Springs. Why don't you make the big guy try to shoot a move? Well, Coy Wire's wrestler gets another stall call. This time it cost him a point, and Coach Craig typically went berserk. He pounded the scorer's table and not happy with the officiating right now. As Coy Wire, his wrestler from Cedar Cliff, trails for the first time in this match 3-2.
And there's a stall call on Rick Gilliam. That is his first call.
It worked. He got it halfway home anyway.
And both of these wrestlers are going to have to pick up the pace, so there's going to be some points involved.
Neutral.
3-2 the score.
The next stall call is points either way.
Hold up, Gene. Hold up. Hold up. I'll get
Gilliam
that.
has to tie a
I'll get that,
shoe.
Red. I'll get that. You stand still.
I think we're going to see a rumble. We got 52 seconds left, as you see.
Back to the center. Let's wrestle in here, guys. Sit.
There you see Bob Craig, Coy Wire's coach. Here we go, down the stretch with the heavies. 3-2. Gilliam, because of the stall point, leads by 1. Gilliam with a stall warning. Out of bounds. Every whistle you hear is everything now with that amount of time left.
These two guys know each other well. Coy Wire in, trying to get a single leg. High bear hug.
He just stepped out of bounds. Crowd beginning to yell for that second stall at 29 seconds.
They want the stalling call in a hurry.
They're going to use a little injury timeout here. After the injury timeout, we pick up the action.
Here they are.
Wire trying to lift him up. That's the time remaining in the match, underneath 20 seconds to go. It's 3-2. Gilliam. Crowd yelling for the stall.
There's the stall.
There it is. Tied.
Wire with a double underhook, just pushing Gilliam around a little bit. Gilliam gets warned for stalling.
Tied at 3. Underneath 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds left. Out of bounds. Looks like the last match of the night's going to go overtime. That's where they want to go. Rest up. There we go. Mark, the Big Spring coaches, we focused a lot of attention a little bit on Coach Craig, but the Big Spring coaches and Jay Hockenbrock, and I mean, they have been animated as well, and they knew they hit the frustration meter when it got 3-3 there.
Oh, that's right. No question about it. Jay Hockenbrock, he is working the referees just like Coach Bob Craig is. Be an interesting overtime session.
Sudden death, we mean it. Going for the leg as Wire, looking, turning.
Wow, Wire got out of that right back in. That was a close one.
Overtime, and first score wins the state championship.
This is sudden death overtime in the heavyweight period.
Whoa! My goodness.
Coy Wire in on a deep single.
Right by the table. Mark. All right, nothing on Mark down there. Crowd is on their feet. Minute 34 left in overtime.
Coy Wire took a nice deep shot on Rick Gilliam. It didn't go very well. Gilliam countered nicely, and Wire did a nice job getting out of it.
Gilliam looking, still nothing. Minute 20, they go out of the neutral position. They are on their feet here at Hershey. Stakes are high in overtime with 1:15 left. 3-3. First score wins it. Coy Wire to your left. Rick Gilliam out of Big Spring. 2 District 3 rivals. They've met for the 4th time tonight. There they are squaring off. Doesn't look like much. Think about if you're Coy Wire having a guy 270 bang on you like that. Lean, 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 lean. Take all your energy right out. This is like hockey. You don't want to call a penalty in a tie game. You don't want to call a stall and award it that way. You want it won legitimately. Wire is in trouble.
On the edge of the net.
Gilliam's got his leg. Wire holding on for
Gilliam
dear
has
life.
a very high single leg. Wire has terrific balance, but Gilliam is in a great position. Diving in for
Takedown.
2 points right there. With 30 seconds left, Rick Gilliam gets a 2-point takedown. He is our state champion at 275 pounds, and he cannot believe it.
That one really hurt Coy Wire. They come to their feet and give really not a loser there, a survivor. Go to the medal ceremony now at 189. There you see the Cumberland Valley Eagle standing tall. Soaring above all others at 189 is Dave Heckard. What an attended event this turned out to be. 53,529 throughout each of the sessions starting Thursday morning. Showing you why Pennsylvania is indeed one of the premier events of its kind at the high school level. Let's go to the award ceremony in the heavyweight bracket. There you see Coy Wire to the left of your screen. We're waiting on Rick Gilliam, who's been mobbed by fans. A couple of newspaper reporters as well. Tough, tough loss for Coy Wire. We'll hear from him next year. It's going to be interesting to see if he does drop down to 189, Jim. He did that to avoid a good friend of his, Dave Heckard, who ended up getting gold. And there he is. Don Nealon, and the head coach at West Virginia University, gets your gold medal winner next year. He's a big 33 All-Star, an outstanding football prospect, and an outstanding show to conclude the AAA situation tonight, Jim.
Rick Gilliam has all the mental toughness in the world to come back after 2 straight losses to Coy Wire. He nips him at the end in overtime, 5-3. He is our state champion from Big Spring.
I'd like to thank the PIAA, the